I hope that it's not too bad. Okay, we're gonna talk about books. So the year is about to end, and this year so far I've read 19 books. I have here my Goodreads. I keep my progress on my Goodreads, and I like to write reviews of the books I've read. Okay, the first one, January. Well, I just read books whenever I could, so there's no like specific month for a book. I have here the first book of the year, Consider Me. In fact, I was reading this book halfway last year in December, and I finished this book on January. It's written by Becca Mack. Okay, I don't remember very much of it, hence I have all of this. So this is about Catter Beckett in the National Hockey, what? Basically, this is a guy, the bad boy superstar hockey player, you know, rich, handsome, strong, that falls in love with a girl they met at a party, and then, wait, what happened? Oh yeah, he has a past. He has a dark past. He's arrogant, self-centered, and the man doesn't seem to know what a filter is. Okay, he's really candid man, and he had everything served to him on a silver platter. I really like this book. Now, what was my review of this book? So I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and I said, oh my god, I love this book. I am over the moon with the story, and the dialogues were amazing. Consider me. Oh yeah, I was quoting. So this guy is telling me, consider me blank, a chance with you. Okay, so what I remember is that this book was quite repetitive. I think it was really long. I think it's like too much of the same. About the writing, I felt like it has his point of view and her point of view, and I really like that, because when it's just only her point of view, I feel like I need to have more information in order for me to have a criteria, an opinion. But I really like that Becca Mack, wrote the dialogue from her point of view and his point of view. So I think I really like this book. I remember now that I'm just reading my notes here. Okay, next one. It is my favorite. Where is this? Oh, here it is. Bully. Oh, I'm so excited to read. Basically, this is her point of view, and this story is about 2 guys that they used to be best friends when they were kids, and all of a sudden college comes, he starts to act really strange, and he starts to hate her, and she's like, what the hell, what did I do, why do you hate me? And you know, all the stories like try to develop what happened in the past and their friendship and family, of his family, her family, and oh, it's so intense. It has some dialogues in here that I was just like, what? I really like this book. Honestly, it's about college kids. It's college or high school? No, this is high school. But what I really like, the way she wrote this book, is that it's not too childish. I already finished college, so in order for me to read about guys in high school, it's like, dude, you're so young, or you're in high school, you know what I mean? The way that she wrote this, it was like, oh my god, it was intense, it was interesting. This one, oh, was amazing, and I cannot wait to read his point of view. This 5 out of 5. And I read this like in 5 days, I believe, so it was so good. The third one, oh, this man, you can tell, 2 of these. Oh, it was bad. I think this is the book I dislike the most from this year. Too much content adult. I reached a point where I was like, stop. Like the characters. She is an interior designer and he is a rich guy, like a finance guy, I think so. He hires her. They did that she's an interior designer, and she works, and she's not like a recent graduate, and she's like, oh my god, what do I do now? She's a professionist. Perhaps 70% it was content adult, and it was so annoying and boring, and I was like wanting more of the personal story. Of course, rich guy, dark past, girl that she is a professionist, which I really like, but immature. He hasn't spoken to his parents in years, okay? And he has no relationship with his family. She's just protecting herself. Yeah, she's just scared. I gave this 2 stars. My review was, my only final thoughts about this, it was too much, and I hated the fact that he wants to control it. A controlling guy and a girl that doesn't give herself, like, no dude, I want to do it my way, you know. That's what I think. Okay. Next, the light. Oh yeah, now it's a Netflix show, and I'm so glad I read the book first. I haven't watched the show fully, but I started. All the light we cannot see. A blind girl who's surviving in the World War II. It's intense. Imagine you being blind during war, listening to bombs. It's crazy. I don't know. It's a really good story, and it talks about this girl who's blind living in France with her dad, and then also talks about this guy who's German, who's an orphan, and he's recruited in the army. Anthony Doerr is trying to find them a path together. I thought that was so cute. I would love to read about like a sequel of them, but oh no, I can't remember. But you can tell I love this book. Look at my notes. I was talking about, oh yeah, it's also so good to give you like a background and like a refresh of World War. You know, this note was about the World War, oh yeah, the First World War, and I was doing like my notes about who was who and who was against who, and it was really refreshing. Oh, it's so warm. I really liked it. Stuff in the line. Where is it? There's this podcast called Diary of a CEO. Best podcast ever. I loved it. Because of that podcast, I found Why We Sleep. I love this book. This book changed my life so far. You can tell I love it. Basically, this book is a book that everyone should read because it talks about what no one talks about: sleep. Sleep. You know, in this modern world, a lot of people see sleep as a waste of time. No, sleeping is not a waste of time. Talks about how active is sleep and how it affects from babies, from youth, from adult, from elderlies, how it's just so in-depth, very easy to understand about why sleeping is so important. It also talks about athletes, it talks about college people who are studying for really important tests and how to nail that test. So it's a book you have to read and you have to write so much and underline. So, for example, one of my notes says, poor deep sleep leads to older adults to develop diabetes, depression, pain, stroke, Alzheimer's disease. Oh, yes. And also, it also talks about how active dreaming is and how important dreaming is when it comes to when you experience some emotional drama or emotional pain, how dreaming it helps to heal and to get over some situations in your life. So, this book was given to me by a friend. Interesting book. Never read something like this. Ryudo Ozaki. She is Asian, I believe so. She's award-winning. Well, it doesn't say. But this book is it's interesting because it talks about it's about kid and his mom and how his mom has some compulsory attitudes towards buying stuff and how I think it's a really deep book. It wasn't not for me. It wasn't that bad. What did I write? This book was given to me by a friend. Oh yeah, this story is about a 14-year-old kid and his mother with a hoarding problem. This kid's dad passed away in a very weird, tragic accident, and so it describes how the kid develops a trauma. Yes. This is not a typical fiction story. It has to do with the really random things throughout the whole book. I will give it 3 stars. I found the way Ruth wrote this book was utterly fascinating. She knows how to describe everything in perfect detail without giving too much information. Yes, she was describing the scene so perfectly that you can imagine it, but without using 20 pages. She was so like direct and like, there you go, and yeah, I really like that. Okay, what else do I have here? I forgot. Okay, then we have... Okay, classic author. Oh, okay. Nicholas Sparks. I watched, which movie did I watch? I forgot, but I wanted to read about his books. This is the first book I ever read from Nicholas Sparks. I have watched all his movies, and okay, I was expecting more. He's not a bad writer. He's too cute. So cute. Of course, there's always the tragic moment. The story is about... Okay, what did I read in my Goodreads? Okay, so this is the first book I ever read from Nicholas Sparks. I watch all his movies. I love them. I do. Honestly, I had high hopes for this book. Yes, it did disappoint me a little. This book was okay, entertaining-ish. I did not feel any chemistry between them, to be honest. I'm 100% sure he has better books, yes. So, you know, it's typical. You know, if you watch Nicholas Sparks or you read Nicholas Sparks, you know the gist of his style is. And I feel like this book was just... it lacked chemistry between the characters, so... yeah, I gave it 2 out of 5. It's my perspective. My favorite author so far, Colin Hoover. I've read Hopeless. Okay, I have here the list. There's this list that Hopeless, Maybe Someday, Ugly Love, Verity. Which one? Too Late, It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us. Yeah, that's all I can think of. So this book, oh my gosh, was intense. I finished this in 4 days. This is about a girl. Okay, what did I write on my review? It was a very long time. I read this on June 2nd to June 8th. What stupid internet. This book was amazing because Colleen Hoover knows how to write. She, you know, you are reading an interesting story. Perhaps something of a regular, like a scenario. How can I describe it? You know, just reading the story about a girl and she has darkness. And all of a sudden, she meets someone. She just has a way of, okay, you're reading and then bam! She turns it to another level and you're like, what? Like you never see her coming. It's amazing. That's what this book made me. I was just like, what the hell? It was great. Okay. Yes, I wish this book could be longer. I love every part of it. Colleen Hoover knows too well how to build and feel chemistry between the... Oh yes, she's the master of chemistry. This is a story about love, sacrifice, and betrayal. The closest people to us tend to hurt us. Yep. Ooh. Okay, something different. This big baby. This was given to me by an uncle. I am a recent graduate of architecture and he's also an architect, and he gave me this book, La Sombra del Ángel, The Shadow of the Angel, and it basically talks about this architect. Okay, if you've been into Mexico City or you live in Mexico City, there's the Ángel de la Independencia, this like big statue, this monument around the city. In a roundabout, there's this big statue of an angel. So that architect, the story is about that architect's life and the daughter, Antonieta Rivas Mercado, and how she... and it's about the story from Mexico in the 1910s until 1940s, I believe. 1931, and how she committed suicide in Notre Dame, Paris. So this book is amazing. Honestly, my first thought when I was starting reading this book, I was just like, it's gonna be a super boring history book. No, there was drama. So much drama. A little fiction, but also this book made me hungry for more history during Mexico's 1900s, and I highly recommend it. So the writer, Catherine Blair, is the daughter... Wait, no. Catherine S. Blair. Okay, Catherine S. Blair is the wife of Antonieta's, the starring girl book, son. Okay, so Antonieta took the story, married, had a kid. His kid married Catherine S. Blair. There we go. A lot of juiciness in here. Mexican drama from the 1900s. What else? Oh, okay. I actually found this book in the library of my school. They were giving it away for free. Like, take any books you want. And I was like, actually, I read this book a very long time ago, but I didn't remember. This is a classic, really heartwarming about this professor. It's like, for example, you have a professor, a really close professor, you build a nice friendship with, and you find out that he's ill. What was his disease? So this professor developed a disease that throughout the years will consume you and you will die. And it talks about how the student, the lovely friendship of the professor and the student, remembering nice moments, and he goes to visit him, and how the person he is, the student he is at the moment, made him who he is because of the professor. So it's a really nice book about friendship. I think this makes us realize how blessed we are to be able to be healthy. So it's a book everyone should read. Yes, it's really heartwarming. What do we have here? Ooh, okay. No more people. Not my cup of tea. I saw a lot of hype in this book. The way I received the story of this book was just what? I believe there's an in-depth analysis in this book. I don't know, this is what I wrote. Okay, so in general, I think the gist of the story was kind of meh. Yeah, like I found myself getting bored reading sometimes. I did. On the other hand, I really like the way Sally structured the writing. Yes, I think she managed to find a great balance of enough detail with not too much. Yes, I could imagine myself in the situation and I could feel a little bit of the situation. I found the way the chapters being skipped by a lot of months quite obvious. I hate that. Okay, so we have here 6 months later. What else? So every chapter was like 6 months later, 2 months later. What? There's a lot of things going on in 2 months. In a day. I wasn't too keen of that, but the way she smashes so she starts, okay, so there's this scene, it finishes, and then it says 6 months later, and she slams the information to you, and you're like, oh, okay. But it wasn't my cup of tea. I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. So, yeah. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books left. There will be a part 2. Wait for it, and I hope you really like this video, and I'll see you in part 2. Peace out. I'm really hungry. Okay, bye bye.